it. I think this is a perfect game for prop betting. As Teddy alluded to, both teams have problems on the defensive side of the ball, but we got the Detroit Lions, the number one scoring offense in the NFL, 33 points per game, and expect the Lions to come in here and march up and down the field, put points on the board. Problem is 12 defensive players on the IR, 5 defensive line starters. Teddy mentioned the injuries for the offensive line for San Francisco. Well, if there's one team you want to go up against right now with injuries on the offensive line, this would probably be the team you would pick. They gave up 48 points in a loss to the Bills 2 weeks ago, 559 yards of offense. Then they only gave up 17 points against the Bears last week, but Caleb Williams threw for 334 yards and a pair of touchdowns. The Bears would have scored more. They fumbled the ball twice, and they just did Chicago Bear things. You can always count on the Bears to be doing such things. I like Brock Purdy to have a good game here, put up some numbers. He's gone over 300 yards in 2 of his last 3 starts, 313 yards and 2 touchdowns against Miami, and 325 yards and 2 touchdowns the 2 weeks prior against the Bears. Teddy mentioned we haven't seen a lot of fight from this San Francisco team. They did sort of inexplicably beat up on the Bears a few weeks back. I think this is a good spot, not for the 49ers to win, but to put up points and put up yards and move the ball against a banged-up Detroit Lions defense. So Purdy over 253.5 passing yards is my first prop for today's show.
Jesse Schule joining us, everyone. Jesse, you got another prop bet for us. Let's get straight into that.
All right. Well, the total for tonight's game, 50.5. Not the highest total we'll see in an NFL game, but still on the right side of 50. I was on Last Call with Kelly a couple weeks ago, and I reminded Kelly that back in 2017, the Packers played the Falcons in the NFC Championship game. The closing total for that game, 61.5. And I told Kelly that I wrote an article prior to that game detailing my prop strategy when you see these high totals, stacking player props, guys to go over their yards, guys to go score touchdowns, because often the books just roll out with the same price as they would have for a total of 45 or 48. They don't seem to make the necessary adjustments all the time when you do see a high total. And I'm looking at 49ers players in this game, and I believe this is the highest total we've seen yet this season in a game involving the San Francisco 49ers. I did mention to Kelly when the Lions were playing the Bills and the total was 55, I liked Cook, the RB1 for Buffalo, to score a touchdown. He ended up scoring a pair of touchdowns. Josh Jacobs scored 3 rushing touchdowns against the Lions the previous week. Now, Chicago wasn't running in any touchdowns last week. Again, you can always count on the Bears to do Bears-type things. They don't have much of a running game. But Isaac Guerendo is back for the San Francisco 49ers. Tonight, he's got 3 touchdowns in his last 3 starts. He's averaging 5.2 yards per carry on the season against a banged-up Detroit defense in what is projected to be a high-scoring game. He's priced at minus 120 for an anytime touchdown. I think that's a cheap price for an RB1 in a game such as this. So I think there's value with Isaac Guerendo anytime touchdown.
Jesse Schule joining us. Jesse, what do you got to promote for the clients?
Got a 3-pack of plays for tonight's NFL game. I got a couple props in there, and I have a college basketball play. I've been struggling with the NFL this season. I got to admit it. It's a year where the bookmakers are getting bashed and the betting public is doing better than projected. But my college basketball remains red hot, hitting 70% dating back to last year's NCAA tournament. I do have a college basketball play available in that 3-pack. It'll only cost you $29, and if you use that promo code, you get 25% off, Holiday 25.